Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good day. I'm going to do a video response to the American Gods Season 2 teaser. This is really late as it came out a week ago and probably other channels have covered this already, but I'm going to cover it and see what I can notice. Just a warning, this video may contain some spoilers from the book, although I'm not going to reveal anything dramatic from the book. I may make references to some things, but I'm not going to actually reveal any important plot points. And in this video, I'm going to do a lot of speculating, because I don't have any inside details on the series or anything. I'm just a guy watching the video like everybody else, so I'm going to do my best to decipher what I see on screen, but if I make a mistake, you can let me know in the comments below, or if you have some other interpretations of characters or events in the trailer, please let me know in the comments below. So first of all, I just want to quickly address the fact that the showrunners Brian Fuller and Michael Green left the series. This is definitely kind of disheartening, as they did a great job with the first season, and for the next season it is going to be produced by Jesse Alexander as well as co-produced by Neil Gaiman. He co-produced the first season as well, but he is supposed to have a bigger role in the show production of this series. As a fan of the book and the first season, I'm a little bit worried, as probably other fans are, but I think we should give this series a chance, give season 2 a chance. So let's get to the teaser. So the first shot is of someone putting a coin into a machine, and I think that machine is the carousel at the House on the Rock. The last season ended with the characters heading toward the House on the Rock, which is an actual house tourist destination in Wisconsin, and it is the location where a very important scene happens in the book. So I'm assuming that scene will happen very early in the series. This shot looks as though the machine has started some kind of a mannequin, and it may actually be a reference to Laura because the mannequin has empty eyes, maybe referencing the fact that Laura is like an empty shell of some kind. And then we have Shadow. He's at the House on the Rock looking at what I'm assuming is going to be the carousel. And yeah, here is Wednesday, and he's standing in front of the carousel. It's supposed to be the biggest indoor carousel in the world. I'd love to see it in person someday, but it should be an interesting sequence in the show. And a shot of Shadow, Mad Sweeney, Laura, and Wednesday driving. I don't know where they're going. They could be going to or from the House on the Rock. Okay, so this is an interesting shot. It is a sort of magical looking mountain landscape. I'm not sure where it is, but it could be backstage, which is the realm that Shadow and the other characters go into. It's sort of like an alternate dimension that allows them to get from place to place. On the ground we see the bones of a mammoth, which could be a reference to Nunyanini, if I'm saying that correctly, which is the mammoth head god that we saw in a sequence in the first season, in which a prehistoric American tribe carried this mammoth head god around, but ultimately had to abandon it, and the god was lost to time and the ages. So this could be the realm of forgotten gods, which Shadow does enter at some point in the book. He's being led by someone, and I'm not sure who that is. So this next shot, we have Shadow and this person leading him entering a hall, and I believe this is the hall where the gods meet in the book. Wednesday sort of makes his pitch to them and tries to get them to join his war. It may look like Valhalla, but actually in the book they reveal that it's Valaxielf, and I probably pronounced that horribly, but it's another one of Odin's halls. Yes, Odin has many halls apparently, and Valaxielf is referred to as his old hall in the book. In Norse mythology, it is said to have a silver roof and a seat or a throne where Odin can view the universe. So a quick shot of Bilquis with Mr. Nancy and Can't see who else is behind her, but I'm assuming Wednesday and Chernabog are there, and they appear to be walking through the house on the rock.
Forgotten God.
Now this is an interesting shot. This is obviously a god of some kind, and looking at the environment around him, it looks as though they're in the hall, the Valaxialf. But who is this god? I'm not sure, because based on the book, it's not entirely clear. But looking at him, he appears to be either Greek or Roman. I'm gonna speculate Greek because he has sort of a bronze stomach plate, which kind of makes me think of a hoplite armor. But which Greek god is he? I don't know. He could be Ares, god of war. He could be Hermes, the messenger of the gods. Ares is a god of war like Odin, and Hermes is associated with Mercury, and Odin is as well. So they both have connections to Odin, and maybe he called a favor from them, but that's just pure speculation. I don't really know who that is. A shot of Mad Sweeney and a shot of Mr. Nancy, Anansi, the spider spirit.
Is everyone in here a god?
So Shadow asks, is everyone in here a god? And everyone laughs, which could reveal something later. I won't go too far into that. Mad Sweeney and Laura in a field covered in blue flowers. I feel like I should know what these flowers are, but I don't. So if you have any idea what these flowers are or what their significance is, then please let me know. And Laura is lying in the field. Maybe these flowers are supposed to rejuvenate her or stop her from decaying so quickly. Shot of Wednesday, and he seems to be in his hall, but he's still dressed in his modern clothing. A shot of Mr. World in what looks like a bunker. Here's Technical Boy in the bunker as well. And this character is actually Gillian Anderson's replacement. Gillian Anderson played the new god Media, and this actress, whose name is Kyun Kim, is playing New Media. So I think she's supposed to be Media's replacement, but she's Media that focuses more on social media or internet media, the type of media that is so popular today. And we have some shots of lights going off at the house on the rock. Another shot of Mr. World in his bunker. It almost looks like it's almost a Pentagon-like military bunker of some sort. Now this is the money shot. So we have a shot here in Valaxialf, or however you say it, Odin's Hall, and there are a lot of gods around him. This is undoubtedly the scene where he makes his pitch to them to try and get them to join his war. Who are these gods? It's difficult to tell because they have their backs to us. Let's go left to right and I'll see if I can decipher them. So starting at the far left, we have a god with long hair and a beard and what appears to be a fur collar or fur mantle on his cloak. This could be another Norse god like Thor. I think if they're going to depict Thor in the show, they'll go with the traditional red hair. And this guy's hair could be red, but I'm not sure. Next to him we have Chernabog with his hammer sitting down. Then next to Chernabog we have Shadow, who is disproportionately smaller than everyone else. Next to him we have another god or goddess. Actually kind of looks like a goddess wearing a long fur cloak, but can't make out any details. Next to her we have someone who looks kind of interesting. To me, it looks like she's wearing a kimono, and this sort of bulge on her back could be an obi, which is the traditional sash that women would wear over the kimono. Her hair seems to be really tall, like she's wearing a headdress of some kind. So, to me, she looks kind of Japanese. I could be wrong, but the only references to Japanese gods in the book were references to some kitsune, which are foxes, and in Japanese mythology they have the ability to transform and they get into mischief. So it's possible she's a kitsune. The dead giveaway would be if she had a tail, but I can't see a tail there. Next to her, another what looks like a goddess with a long gray dress and a long braided ponytail in the back. Next to her, god or goddess, I can't make them out. Next to that person is Odin addressing the other gods, Mr. Wednesday, so he's making his pitch to them, trying to get them to join his war. Next to him, we have what might be Mama G, because in the book she appears in this scene. Most of the gods that appear in this scene are not described, they are sort of in the shadows, but the few we can see is Mama G, who is the Hindu goddess Kali. But I'm not totally sure that's her. Next to her, a god wearing what looks like a long golden cloak with long gray hair. That could be a number of Greek or Norse gods. And finally on the far right, we have a god wearing what might be a kilt or a tartan pattern at the bottom. It's very hard to make out, but it seems like there might be something resembling a tartan on their lower half. So it might be a Celtic god of some sort. Among the more notable Celtic gods in the book is Gideon, who's a Welsh trickster. It could be him. Or it could be a number of other Celtic gods, or maybe that's not even a kilt. It's very difficult to make out most of these characters, but I did my best. So the next shot we have Mr. Wednesday in his full Odin attire. He's carrying Gungnir, his spear. He has a brooch over his chest, which shows the tree Yggdrasil, the world tree. One of his eyes is shut because he sacrificed that eye at the world tree for knowledge, and the other eye, the functional eye, appears to be glowing or shining because I guess he knows all and sees all or something like that.
Fooling yourselves.
The storm is coming.
And a shot of Crispin Glover looking really creepy as Mr. World. Shot of a bullet shell leaving a gun, and there's something written on the bullet. I don't know if it's Vulcan, who is the character in the previous season that made ammunition, but it might be.
He is dangerous.
A shot of Mr. Wednesday, and he is on the carousel. We can see the red pole in front of him.
I need you to believe that.
Laura says to Shadow, he's dangerous, referring to Mr. Wednesday, which is very true. And a shot of Mr. Jakel, who is the Egyptian god Thoth, or Tote, however you want to say it. I'm looking forward to his Somewhere in America segments in this season. That was my favorite part of the last season. So this is interesting. This is a battle, and we see a warrior here throwing a spear. He actually kind of looks like Mad Sweeney to me. It might be Mad Sweeney. I think the throwing the spear may be a reference to, in Norse mythology, the first war between the Aesir gods and the Vanir gods was said to have started when Odin threw his spear Gungnir over the crowd, and this started a tradition which is referenced in some sagas later, that when a battle starts, the Norse warriors will throw a spear over the crowd and declare the battle for Odin, and that plays a role in the book. So that could be what this warrior or Mad Sweeney is doing here. But looking at this shot closely here, his pants kind of look like a kilt or a red tartan of some kind. So the fact that he is wearing a tartan and he appears to have blue paint on him also, which is a sign of the Picts, which is a Celtic tribe of northern Britain around where Scotland is today. They would supposedly cover themselves in blue paint before battle. So I think this is a Celtic battle, perhaps in Ireland, and that might be Mad Sweeney during his previous life as a Celtic king. But in any case, I think his throwing of the spear could be him trying to declare the battle for Odin. And we have a shot here of Selim on a motorcycle with what appears to be the Jinn. So he found the guy he was looking for and he appears pretty happy. A shot of Technical Boy in a mansion, and I'm not sure who's following him, but the long overcoat looks like Mr. World. And we have some young people vaping, or whatever the kids do these days. Shot of Mad Sweeney and Laura in this field of blue flowers, and they appear to be getting pretty cozy, so there might be some kind of relationship developing between them in this season. Quick shot of Mad Sweeney screaming. I have an idea of what this could be in the book, but I don't want to say anything. And a shot of Shadow being shot into the air with someone below him. I don't know who that is. Their face appears to be covered. Could be Technical Boy, but it's really hard to make them out. And here we have a shot of New Media looking at Technical Boy, who for some reason is very small, and in a kind of a shelf or something. And maybe she's trying to say that you're a small person in a box. I don't know. Quick shot of the carousel, and we have the wolf prominently displayed out front, which is the seat that Wednesday rides. I think it's reference to Fenrir or Fenris, the wolf of Norse mythology. Or it could be one of Odin's wolves, Gary or Freki. And behind him there is a unicorn. And the carousel is going really fast, kind of like almost transporting to another dimension. A shot of Wednesday with Mr. Nancy in the car behind him. And here we have a shot of Mad Sweeney and Shadow. There's a sign behind them that says Japanese Garden. So there is a Japanese garden at the house on the rock. I'm assuming that's where they are.
You're in the fairy tale now, aren't you?
You're in the fairy tale now. And that's it. So I think it looks promising. I know there is some anxiety among fans as to whether this season will live up to the last season because of the changeover of the creators. But I think we should definitely give this season a chance and see where it takes us. I'm going to try to cover the next season as it comes out, or at some point during the next season, I'll make a video. Again, if you have any ideas about the teaser that I missed, or ideas who the mysterious gods could be, then please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like this vid and subscribe for more videos about American gods and gods from other countries. OMG. Thanks, and until next time.